today's practice, we'll move slowly and we'll incorporate yin yoga postures. Feel free to grab any props that may be useful to you today. I have a couple blocks here and a bolster. If you don't have yoga props, feel free to use rolled up blankets. A couple cushions will do. Anything to support your body in your practice. And then go ahead and find a comfortable seat. You can sit up on a cushion or on a block or right on your mat if that feels best. Settling in, sitting up with a nice tall spine. Relax the arms. Allow the hands to rest on the legs or on the knees. Soften your facial muscles and close your eyes. Arrive. Feel that heaviness of your body sitting on your mat or on that cushion, rooting down through the sit bones, heavy through the legs. Stay soft through the feet. With every inhale, lengthen your spine. Grow taller. Feel the top of the head reaching up. Soft inhales and exhales through the nose. Find that connection to your breath. Maybe label your inhale and label your exhale. Allow this breath to bring you into the now. Arriving fully in this present moment. Continuously bringing yourself back to the sensation of your breath, but also acknowledging anything going on outside, around you, thoughts even, any distractions, just noticing, and then using these as reminders to tune back into this present moment. Come back to your breath. Explore deeper inward. Stay with this breath, and when you're ready, just gently lower your chin down towards your chest, bowing the head. You can stay exactly as you are. You might bring the fingertips to the back of the head, barely applying any pressure. Gently releasing back to center. Relax the arms down if you had lifted the hands to the head. And then lower that right ear down towards the right shoulder. To feel that stretch on the left side, down the side of the neck, into the shoulder. You might stay exactly as you are. You might float that left arm out to the side. Fingertips could gently rest on the mat, or the hand can stay hovering. Then go ahead and bring that right into the left side of your body. Take an inhale here, and with your exhale, start to reach forward with that left arm. Reach all the way over to the left, and then tuck that left hand behind. Maybe it comes to the lower back, maybe it comes over towards that right hip. Maybe you can interlace the fingers here, bring the hands together, press that right elbow back, and then tilt the head over to the right once again. On this side, if you'd like to switch the legs to even things out for the way you're sitting, go ahead and do so. And let's take a moment to just shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Take a nice deep inhale, and on your exhale, release. Relax the shoulders down. 2 more times. Inhale, shrugging up, and exhale, let it go. 1 more. Inhale up, and exhale, soften, release down. And then just gently tilting the head over to the left, allowing that left ear to come down towards the left shoulder. Maybe you stay exactly as you are. Maybe you float that right hand out to the side. Fingertips can touch the mat, or that hand can stay hovering. Left hand down to the mat or onto the fingertips. Reach your right arm up and over. Come into that side stretch for a moment. Take a couple breaths here. And then start to reach forward and around with that right hand coming all the way to the back. Maybe you tuck that right hand behind the lower back. Maybe it's over to that left hip. Bringing that left hand to meet the right if you can. Interlace the fingers, find that bind. And then settle back into that stretch for that the right side of the neck, down the right shoulder. Maybe even feel this down that right arm, tilting the head over to the left. So that bind just helps to deepen the stretch. If at any point it doesn't feel great, feel free to release the bind. Here, relax the arms completely. If you're sitting up on a cushion or a block, go ahead and remove it, or maybe just place it further back behind you. You might, if it's a cushion and you can sit up on it just a little bit, that might be helpful here. Otherwise, just removing it completely. We'll bring the legs out wide. Keep the feet soft here, no need to flex the feet or point the toes, just staying neutral. And you'll start to slide that right forearm down the right leg. And then we'll make circles with that left arm. So reach up and over with the left. exhale down as if you're reaching towards your opposite foot. And start to inhale all the way up again. Nice big circles. Bring a stretch into the left side of the body as you come down. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, reaching over towards those toes. One more. And releasing, coming back to center. Second side. Slide that left forearm down the left leg and start to reach all the way up and over with that right arm. Inhaling up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, reaching towards that opposite foot. Nice full breaths in. And empty out as you come down. One more, reaching up. Exhale down and then release back to center. Bring the hands behind the knees and lift to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Bring the hands just behind the hips and gently rock side to side, windshield wiper motion with the legs. And then finding your way onto hands and knees, come to tabletop pose. Setting up with a nice flat back to begin. Crown of the head reaches forward and move super slowly here. Begin at the tailbone, end with the crown of the head. Start to lift the tailbone, lower the belly, press the chest forward, head comes up, maybe you look up. And then exhale, begin to curl the tailbone under, lift through the back, and eventually tuck your chin in towards your chest. Then begin again, moving with your breath. Long, slow inhales. And long, slow exhales. Continue to press the mat away from you. Find just one more breath with this movement. Come back to center and lift the weight out of that right knee. Start to make small circles with that right knee, opening up through the hip. And coming wider and wider, tracing larger circles. Eventually stacking that right hip on top of the left, extending that right leg back. Turn that right foot so that it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. You might curl your left toes under and swing them out to the side to make a kickstand. Left hand directly below the left shoulder. Then reach your right arm up. Take an inhale, reaching those fingertips up to the ceiling. Then exhale, reach that right arm towards the top of your mat. Bring your right bicep over your right ear. Feel that stretch all down the right side of your body. Maybe even pressing into the mat with that right foot. Inhale here. And exhale, bring that right hand back down to the mat. As you come back to center, draw that right knee in towards your chest and step your right foot through for a low lunge. This is where it might be handy to have your blocks or your bolster close by. You'll bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. Heel toe your right foot out wide. It could even come as wide as the edge of your mat, to the right edge of your mat. If you're up on the hands here, try to soften through the shoulders, not bringing too much pressure into the upper body. You might wiggle that left knee back slightly. If it feels like a lot of pressure on the knee joint, you could tuck a blanket under that left knee, or you could even roll your mat in to cushion and support that joint. Notice how this feels. You might stay just as you are. Make sure you're keeping that front knee over the ankle. It's not coming forward over the toes. And if you'd like to, maybe you come down onto the blocks. Bring your forearms down, or onto your cushions, or onto your books. Anything you can use to support your body today. If the mat felt too low, you could even have your hands up on your blocks. Continue to feel the crown of the head reaching forward, staying long through your spine. Finding a place you can breathe here. This should be a moderate stretch without feeling pain. If at any point it feels too intense, feel free to ease out a bit. Adjust to find your edge in this pose. Let's count just 3 more cycles of breath in this pose. And never jumping out of a pose. Take your time. When you're ready, start to bring your hands back down to the mat if you've lowered onto your forearms. Heel toe that right foot back towards center to frame the foot with those hands. Then start to walk your hands, walk your fingertips back towards that left knee or towards the back of your mat, almost straightening that front leg. Back toes can be curled under if that helps. You might even flex that right foot. And then step that right foot back to meet the left. Make your way into child's pose. Bring the knees wide here. Relax down for a moment. Maybe gently rock your hips side to side. Then guide yourself back up to tabletop pose. Realign the knees directly below the hips. And a few more cats and cows. Inhale, gently lower that belly. Maybe you look up. And exhale, begin to round, send your spine up towards the ceiling. 2 more long, slow breaths. And back to neutral. Lift the weight out of that left knee now and start to make those small circles. Starting to come wider, tracing larger circles with that left knee. And eventually stacking that left hip on top of the right, curl those right toes, plant that left foot down on the mat, parallel to the short edge. Bring that right hand down directly below your right shoulder and reach your left arm up. Strong through the arms, straight line from wrist to wrist for now. Take a nice deep inhale, reach those left fingertips up, and then exhale, reach forward with that left arm. Breathe into the left side of your body. And with your exhale, bring that left hand back down to the mat. Shift back to center, draw that left knee in, and step your left foot through to adjust to come to our dragon pose on the second side. Both hands to the inside of that left foot, and maybe you heel toe that left foot out wide a little bit, or a lot. Either stay up on the hands here, or when you're ready, and if you'd like to, lower down onto your forearms. Those can be on the blocks or on your mat. If here the mat feels too far away, you could place your hands on blocks as well. And just know that one side may be different than the other, and that's completely normal. Settle in for a few moments to a place you feel a moderate stretch. It should feel like a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Find that place that's just right, where you can focus on your breathing. Avoid bringing tension into the upper body. Try to soften through the shoulders. Relax your facial muscles here. Unclench the jaw. Soften the eyelids. Count 3 more full cycles of breath, just as you are. Again, never rushing out of a pose. Move super slowly. Begin to lift the torso. You can move those blocks out of the way if you were using them, or you could even use them to walk your hands back if that's helpful. Heel toe your foot back, your left foot back towards center or to where it was. Frame the foot with the hands or with your blocks. Then start to shift the hips back and walk the hands, walk the blocks, or walk your fingertips back. You might flex that left foot. Feel a sense of folding over that front leg. Into that left knee, just to be able to step that left foot back to meet the right. And again, for a moment, settle into child's pose. Check in here, compare one side to the other, and notice if things feel more evened out. lift back up to tabletop pose. Remove any props that might be in your way. Keeping the hips up over the knees, you'll start to walk the hands forward. Lower the chest, come down, maybe you come onto the forearms. Press the palms of the hands down into the mat. Feel that stretch through the shoulders. If this feels like too much tension on the neck looking forward, then go ahead and rest your forehead down onto the mat or onto a block. If you feel unsteady here, you can tuck your toes. That might help with your balance. And begin to shift forward onto the forearms and lower the belly, extend the legs back. Go ahead and set up with your forearms down on the mat, but placing your elbows directly below your shoulders to create an L shape with the arms. Spreading the fingers wide, press the palms of the hands, the forearms down into the mat. And for now, keep the legs, the feet nice and relaxed, soften through the glutes. You can even gently rock your hips side to side. Stay nice and soft there. And press down through the forearms, press through the palms of the hands. Feel the chest pulling forward. Keep your shoulders back and down. Soften your gaze. If at any point this feels too intense, go ahead and bring your elbows out wide, stack one hand on top of the other. Take rest here, lower down. If you'd like to take this a bit further, extend the legs, bring them together, point the toes, engage your glute muscles, feel strong through the legs here, protecting your lower back by engaging those glutes. You might bring your hands out a bit wider and begin to lift the elbows, peel the forearms off of the mat. Maybe you come to straight arms. If at any point this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel enjoyable in your body, lower back down. Feel those gentle breaths. Feel that nice stretch across the front of your body. And begin to lower back down when you're ready. Soften completely. Bring the elbows out wide, stack one hand on top of another, and turn to face the right, resting on that left cheek. Take some nice, beautiful breaths here. Slide that right knee out wide for half frog pose, turning that right foot out to the side. Relax that right foot. Sliding that right knee up as if you're bringing it towards your right elbow. It most likely won't make it all the way there. Find just where you feel that gentle stretch. And then extend that right leg all the way back to meet the left. Lift your head to center and then just turn to face the left, resting on that right cheek now. And when you're ready, slide that left knee out wide for half frog. Turn that left foot out to the side. slide that right leg back to meet the left. Left leg back to meet the right. Gently rock the hips side to side, bring the head to center, and then bring the hands below the shoulders, tuck the toes, and lift yourself up to tabletop. We'll walk the hands all the way back towards the knees, tuck the toes, and then start to lift up into a gentle forward fold. Bring the feet about hip-width distance apart. Keep a deep bend in the knees, stay low. Keep your fingertips down to the mat. Relax the head. And take a hold of opposite elbows when you feel stable here. Gently sway side to side. Come back to center, keeping that bend in the knees. Bring your elbows to just above the knees, to the thighs. If you interlace your fingers here, feel a sense of pressing your chest forward as we do in our cow pose, lifting the tailbone. Few breaths here. Shoulders back. And then release. Feel that rounding through your back. Allow the belly to rest on the thighs. Maybe you grab opposite elbows again. Gently sway. And then bring those hands back down to the mat. Bend into the knees to lower the knees all the way down. Come to tabletop pose once again. Hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Start to slide that right knee up towards your right wrist. And slide that right foot in front of the left leg. Walk your hands all the way over to the right. And sit over on that right hip, or on the right side. You might be able to bring that right shin forward so that it's parallel to the top of your mat. And you can slide that back knee in closer to that right foot. Maybe that left shin is parallel to the long edge. Relaxing the feet, soften through the legs. Turn your chest towards that right thigh. Inhale here. And exhale to begin to fold forward over that right leg until you feel that pressure down the side of the right leg to that IT band. You might feel this all the way up into the hip. You might stay up on the hands, you might lower the forearms down. You can use those blocks or use a bolster, a cushion, anything to support you. You might allow the chest to lower completely. Elbows could come out wide. You could even just use a block or a book or a cushion to support the head. I'll invite you to count 5 full cycles of breath here. Breathe into that sensation you're feeling in your body. Breathe into the stretch. Super slowly begin to lift back up. Bring the hands onto the floor of the mat. Guide yourself back up. Lean all the way over to the right to swing the legs forward. Bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. The knees up and the hands back behind the hips. Hands directly below the shoulders. With an inhale, lift your bum, lift your hips. Maybe stack the knees over the ankles. Feel strong here. Press into the hands, press into the feet. Reverse tabletop pose. You can allow the head to drop back if you have no sensitivities in the neck. And with an exhale, slowly lower back down. Swing the legs around to come back to tabletop pose. We'll set up for the second side of our swan pose. Knees back below the hips, shoulders above the wrists. Slide that left knee up towards your left wrist and wiggle that left foot in front of the right leg. Start to walk your hands over to the left. Sit down over on that left side and adjust through the legs. So maybe you slide that right knee in closer. Maybe that left shin comes parallel to the top edge of your mat. If that left foot is coming back towards the right thigh, that's okay too. Turn your chest towards the left thigh. Inhale here, sitting up tall. And exhale to begin to fold forward. You might stay up on the fingertips, you might stay up on the hands, just until you feel that pressure down the side of the left leg. Feel free to lower down further if that's what's in your practice today. Always listening to your body, not forcing anything. When you arrive, find a bit of stillness in this pose and count 5 full cycles of breath. Reminding those feet to stay soft and neutral, not bringing tension into the upper body. Relax your facial muscles. Maybe the eyes are closed or keep a soft gaze here. Again, super slowly, don't hurry out of the pose. When you're ready, press your hands down into the floor of the mat and guide yourself up. Lean all the way over to the left to swing the legs forward. Soles of the feet on the mat, hands back behind the hips, and one more time for that reverse tabletop pose. If you prefer to come to reverse plank pose, you could straighten the legs, start on the heels, and as you lift the hips, point the toes forward. So either from reverse tabletop, lifting the hips to stack the knees over the ankles and holding here, glutes engaged, or legs long, starting on the heels, hands below the shoulders, strong through the legs, lifting through the hips, pointing the toes. Strong through those arms. And gently lowering down. Go ahead and settle onto your mat, reclining. You can choose to support your body if you have a bolster. You can support the head with a pillow. If you'd like to, Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide for butterfly legs. And allow yourself to relax down. If you have butterfly legs, you can adjust, bringing the heels closer to the pelvis, closer in towards the body for a deeper stretch. If it's feeling too intense, you can shift the feet further towards the top of your mat, creating a larger diamond with the legs, allowing those knees to maybe lower a little bit further towards the mat, softening. Choose to either bring your hands onto your belly to notice the rise and fall with your breath, or maybe you relax your arms down by your sides. Shift into your final resting pose. Allow your body to soften. Your breath to return to its natural pace. Take rest. Give your body the rest it needs. Feel free to stay just as you are. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. I hope that this sequence has brought you a sense of calm and peace. To all of you, to love and peace. Namaste.